A little update. I'm going to try and maintain this all the way until Iran, so we'll see if that's feasible. It shouldn't be an internet issue because I've got unlimited internet everywhere. It's more of a maintaining the power banks and being disciplined to use the phones which don't have unlimited data for the GPS. Sometimes I get really lazy and I just put this phone on and then it drains the battery and then I can't use my data. So yeah, today was a lazy day because yesterday I did 124 kilometers on no sleep. So that was like 2 days no sleep. Because I was like I said in the last video, I was in the WeWork in Munich until like 5 a.m. Being productive, and then straight at 5:45 a.m. I cycled all the way to the border, which was 124 kilometers. So today I literally just came from a lake in Germany, but right on the Austrian border. I think it's called Absee. There's a really nice campsite there actually with they had jazz music playing, and unfortunately I was too lazy to get out of my tent at that time and actually go and see it, but it was nice to listen to. And then early in the morning there was a huge storm. I think the biggest storm so far on this cycling trip. It was really crazy actually. And I assumed it would continue on today, but luckily the sun started brightening up at about 8 a.m. There was kind of some wet gear because I didn't anticipate the storm and I didn't properly cover up my bike and stuff. But it seems all fine, and I haven't checked my laptops yet, so let's just hope they work. But now I'm in 30 kilometers. I think it's about 30 kilometers into Austria, just outside of Salzburg, and I've just been calculating where I want to try and be for the next 4 days, because it would take me 4 days, I think, to get to Croatia. So that's I just calculated my stops. First, tomorrow is going to be 71 kilometers, and it's also a national holiday. So today is Sunday, and I have to say in Germany on Sunday, obviously it's a bigger country and things are more connected. So even though it's still very much the close on Sunday scenario in a lot of Europe, you'll still find some things in Germany. But in Austria on a Sunday, I tell you, it was very difficult. I found one gas station that had like food basically. And tomorrow is a national holiday. So I already had one national holiday in Belgium when it was very difficult to find anything. And tomorrow's a national holiday, and yes, everything will be closed. So I think I'm going to just quickly go to a gas station now. And then, hopefully plot a few gas stations tonight to stop for the 71 kilometers tomorrow. And then the day after is 84 kilometers. Then I'm gonna probably do a little bit less, because the distance, though seemingly achievable, I don't want to put my trust in Google too much. So the third day it says that it's about 120 to Graz, which is a big city, and I've already booked the accommodation there for Thursday. It says it's mostly flat all the way. However, I have come to learn that Google is completely untrustworthy. So I would rather break that down into two 60-kilometer rides for the third and fourth day. If I've calculated that right, yeah. So I'll be on Friday. I should be in Maribor in Slovenia, I think. I kind of wanted to go into Hungary, but it seems slightly more efficient to go to Maribor. And I have this booking website where I have accommodation credits, so I'm going to probably book a weekend in Maribor and then continue on to Croatia. A few interesting little things. So the bike is obviously terrible, but it's still surviving. I'm not treating it particularly well. It's not a bike that is geared for mountains and trails. It's it is a touring bike. It is a hybrid bike, which is why it's alive still. But I've literally taken it on some mountain bike runs with giant rocks, and I'm surprised the tires are still intact. And obviously when the bike's packing 35 kilos, if you hit a rock at 25 kilometers, 30 kilometers an hour without mountain bike tires, I'm absolutely astounded that bike can take what I've put it through, especially from Weissenburg in northern France coming down the mountain trail, the rocks there were substantial, and even with full brakes I was hitting these rocks at like 30 kilometers an hour. And actually that's when I did get the semi-flat, so maybe they didn't hold up too well. But nonetheless, everything's going well so far. But the actual I've forgotten the name of them now. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. The spokes on the wheel. So one spoke has come off, and another spoke is looking loose, and I'm sure there's some looser ones as well that I haven't checked yet. So I just did a little brief search online, and it seems that that's not good. It seems a bit exaggerated by the laws of logic, people saying that if your spokes start to go, spokes, so I need to check how many are actually going, because that might decide whether the internet blogs are true or not. It indicates that the tyre rim is maybe damaged, so obviously the tyre was damaged, but it might indicate that the rim needs a replacement. But again, we'll have to see. I'm just going to wait until these things actually happen to take them to bike shops, because otherwise it's just a waste of time. So we'll see what's going to happen with that respect. Another thing, I tell you, when I used to play video games, my index finger is probably got a bit of repetitive strain injury, and I've had it like for a couple of years. For 31-year-old, it's probably not good to have this early. By essentially clamping the bicycle handle, my index finger is obviously the one that indicates the brake with the most strength. It's getting really painful, like just being in that position, like full-on arthritis, repetitive strain injury on that finger, which is the most important finger on both hands, for numerous reasons. So that's not good. So that's another thing to add to the list, the endless list. But with respect to the bike, what else has happened? I broke the back light somehow. Can't remember how that just came off. And there was a point where I was riding at night and I forgot that I bought all these batteries, but my lights are slightly more advanced than I thought, and they're all USB. So that was kind of sketchy, because I'd already used my power bank, so I had to really cycle without being fully illuminated, which is obviously bad for the bike, because you could hit a pothole even at 10 kilometers an hour not seeing exactly where you're going. Is potentially a tire injury. But now I'm going to chill for the rest of the day. It's arrived relatively early, obviously having only done 30 Ks, and I think tomorrow I'll get up really early, because it's a national holiday here in Austria, and on a Sunday, it might be slightly different, I guess, maybe people will go down the lake and camp and whatnot, but my idea is that Sundays are always the best time to cycle early in the morning, because there's obviously less people around, people have a lie-in, they don't get up so early. So I want to try and make as much progress as possible with that. And who knows, if I find if I'm making substantial progress, which is unlikely given the ascents in Austria, but if it does come to 12 o'clock and let's say I've done 60k, I'll try and double it and make the second campsite, but we'll see how that goes. And I guess there were a few other things I was going to say, but I totally forgot. I can't quite remember. Oh yeah, another thing, the panniers. So obviously they're not very good panniers, and I've already been refunded by the company for them, so it doesn't really matter. But the right pannier, aside from the zip being broken, so when you're going down a trail, when you're hitting the rocks on gravel cycleways, these rocks are chipping up constantly at such speed. They've actually eroded, which is unbelievable. They've eroded the base of the right-hand pannier. I haven't actually checked the left, so let's just assume both. So it literally is just like if you took like a gun and sprayed it at a piece of paper, all the little pellet holes. That's kind of what the base of the pannier looks like, just from being chipped by gravel and stuff at 40 kilometers an hour. So that's pretty bad design, I must say. But I think that's the last little point I'll make, and I'll touch base, try and get some clips of like things as well, i.e. like the terrain, the surrounds and whatnot. So like, I don't know if you can see my bike, it's over here. So where the red tent is, down there. So yeah, cool. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully it doesn't rain.